Good afternoon, everybody. I'm sure at some point I'm going to slip and say tonight, but good afternoon. Welcome to the December 30th, 2025 meeting of the Brighton Town Board. I'm Bill Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor, and this is our final Town Board meeting of 2025. I'm calling this meeting to order, and I would ask if you're physically able to rise. If not, rise in spirit. We'll start with a pledge to the flag. Councilmember Corrado, if you would lead us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In just a couple minutes, we will start the open forum portion of the meeting. Of course, the open forum is the portion of the meeting where members of the public can share their comments directly with the town board. If you are live streaming us, you will have to log into Teams in order to participate in the open forum remotely, or for that matter, to participate in either of the two public hearings that we have on the agenda today. There are detailed instructions for logging into the meeting on Teams on the town's web page, this has changed too, brightonny.gov. We talked about this at our last meeting. The law was changed to require municipalities in New York State to have a .gov address, so our address is now brightonny.gov. The old townofbrighton.org address still works, but we want to give you the new one. As we have done now for many years, all of our town board meetings are accessible to the deaf and hard of hearing community. We thank our ASL interpreters who are with us today, Jordan Staley and Alyssa Suppley. Thank you so much for helping bring our meeting to all members of our community. The agenda and all of the materials that we will be relying on in making our decisions today are also available on the Town of Brighton webpage. We do have one proclamation tonight. See, I did it today. January is National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. Each year, the Rochester Regional Coalition Against Human Traffic holds a day-long symposium, in recent years remotely, in observance of National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. We will be presenting this proclamation remotely as part of that proclamation, part of that symposium, rather. Whereas human trafficking is a modern form of slavery involving the use of force, fraud, or coercion to exploit people for labor, domestic servitude, or commercial sex acts. Whereas the International Labor Organization estimates that 27.6 million adults and children of all ages, races, and socioeconomic backgrounds are victimized around the world, including the United States and here in our own community. Whereas an insidious, pervasive industry, human trafficking, generates approximately $150 billion annually, with commercial sex exploitation accounting for $99 million, and other forced economic exploitation, including domestic work and agriculture, account for the other $51 billion. Whereas the U.S. National Human Trafficking Hotline states that the majority of trafficking is in the commercial sex trade and disproportionately impacts women and girls. And whereas traffickers may be family members, romantic partners, acquaintances, or strangers. So public awareness about slavery and human trafficking is key to its prevention. And whereas the town of Brighton supports the efforts being made by Rochester Regional Coalition Against Human Traffic, or RCAT, and by law enforcement to prevent human trafficking and protect the victims of trafficking. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, William W. Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor, along with the members of the Brighton Town Council, do hereby declare January as National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month in the town of Brighton, and urge all members of our community to learn about the signs of trafficking and to report it to the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888, or by texting either HELP or INFO to 233-733. And this proclamation is dated the 30th day of December, 2025. You may have noticed, for example, in rest areas along the thruway, there are new, relatively new now, signs and notices relating to human trafficking. We know that main thoroughfares are one of the places, rest areas, truck stops, are one of the places where people trafficking may actually identify people, but where we can identify the signs of trafficking. So please familiarize yourselves. January is an important month, but throughout the year, identify those signs of potential trafficking and don't hesitate to make your concerns known. Okay, this is our final town board meeting for 2025, as I mentioned. I do want to provide a brief wrap-up of some of the accomplishments we've made this year. Of course, the most important town project this year was and continues to be the town hall renovation project. We continue to make good progress moving forward on the town hall project, which is centered on sustainability and accessibility. Not only will we have a new geothermal heating and cooling system, and that is really the reason we have undertaken that project. The old system, which is 72 years old, is badly in need of an upgrade, and of course, geothermal provides an opportunity to do so in a more sustainable way. But we will also be installing solar panels on our roof. The accessibility elements of the project include the new ramps that you probably have seen if you've driven by Town Hall at the front of the building, allowing people with disabilities or mobility issues to access the building from the front. There are 2 ramps on either side to maintain that beautiful symmetry of the building, and there are parking lots on either side, so that will facilitate access instead of forcing people with mobility issues or disabilities to enter the building from the rear, which has been the case. There's an elevator, but this will really improve access to the building for all. The recreational features that are going to be an important part of the project when it's completed will also feature accessibility. The swimming pool is being renovated to include accessible improvements. A splash pad is being constructed. That will be fully accessible to the community, as will the new playground that's being built. The Kiwanis Club of Brighton had donated a playground about 30 years ago. As we have been doing throughout town, we're upgrading all of our playgrounds. That one in particular was located where we needed to drill and install the wells for our geothermal project. So that is being replaced with a new accessible playground. We're appreciative. Thank you so much, Senator Jeremy Cooney and Assemblymember Sarah Clark, who have supported that recreation project with 2 grants totaling $1.2 million. we are finalizing a request for proposals for professional site design services for those recreational features. And one of the first jobs of that new consultant will be to hold a public input meeting so we can get public input on exactly how we want to lay out and design all of those family recreational facilities. Also, as part of the project, we're going to be making the entire town hall campus more walkable and safer for all of the users. We get a lot of bicycle, pedestrian traffic. On one end, the neighborhood behind, we have our bicycle boulevard, and then across the street, across Elmwood, we have the Brickyard Trail, so there's a lot of pedestrian and bicycle traffic generated by both of those, in addition to just the very active traffic on the campus for the library and all of the recreational features. So, speaking of grant funding, in 2025, Brighton was awarded over $1.2 million from Monroe County to fund 50% of the cost of building new sidewalks on county roads throughout the town. This is a $10 million grant program that the county made available. I believe the town of Brighton is receiving more funds than any other town under that program. These new sidewalks are going to be located on county roads like Elmwood, Edgewood, Westfall, Winton, and Allens Creek roads. We're going to begin sidewalk construction in the spring. I think we can safely say already that there is no town in Monroe County with a more extensive sidewalk network than the town of Brighton. These projects will further enhance our walkability throughout town. Quickly's open in the 12 Corners in 2025. Not only did the Quicklys provide a significant visual upgrade to the former gas station that had been located on that site, but it adds new retail space in the 12 Corners, new EV charging stations, and through incentive zoning, we laid out the site plan in such a way that the retail is out front with a sitting plaza, and the gas pumps are in the rear where they're less visible in the 12 Corners. The first time that Quicklys has configured one of their stations, one of their retail and gas operations that way. Of course, the front of the Quicklys features a major, and really the first major, public art installation in the town of Brighton. Rochester metal sculptor Albert Paley's final work, actually, called Compression, which he completed in 2019, just before the pandemic. He made the decision during the pandemic to close his studio. But Compression had been on display. It had been loaned to a sculpture garden in Tennessee. But through the incentive zoning process, it is now there in a very prominent position, the property of the town, and we're committed to the continued revitalization of Monroe Avenue, including additional public art displays. But that Albert Paley will really be the centerpiece of what we're going to be doing. On today's agenda, we'll be considering yet another improvement, yet another project through incentive zoning in the 12 Corners. The renovation of a building to serve as the new home for Malik's Bakery and Lipman's Deli. Naff and Anna Hanau, the owners of both Malik's and Lipman, hope to be able to consolidate these two iconic kosher businesses on Winton Road, right in the heart of the 12 Corners. So on your agenda tonight is the consideration of today, that's two, darn it, referring that project to the planning board for their preliminary site plan approval. So this is just a summary of some of the few things that we have done in 2025. There's a lot more coming in 2026 and beyond. Our town staff works very hard. You've heard the plows out today, but town staff works hard throughout the year for our residents. And I want to thank all of them publicly for their very, very hard work. All of you make a difference here in the town of Brighton, every day, every year, and we appreciate it. Okay, we'll now begin the open forum. The open forum, which we hold at the beginning of every town board meeting, is an opportunity for members of the public to address the board concerning any matter relating to the town, whether it's on our agenda tonight or not. I would note that if you are here to speak to either one of the two public hearings today, either the public hearing on the proposed GCI Eastwater energy storage facility or the public hearing on the sewer capital improvements under Section 202B of the town law and would like your comments included in the record of those public hearings, please hold your comments until we call those public hearings. But if you do want to speak during the open forum, simply raise your hand. When I call on you, please come up to the podium to speak. If you're participating remotely and would like to speak during the open forum on Teams, you've got to join the meeting on Teams, but same thing, raise your hand and we will unmute you and you'll have the opportunity to speak. I do ask all speakers during the open forum, whether you're in person or speaking remotely, to please state your name and address before speaking. Please limit your remarks to 3 minutes, and I will give you a 30-second warning before time expires. We may not be able to answer any questions that you may have, particularly if your question relates to a matter that's not on tonight's agenda, today's agenda. But our goal here during the open forum is to give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with the town board and for us to be able to listen thoughtfully to your words. So please direct your remarks during the open forum to the town board, not to other people in the room. Please avoid personal attacks and outbursts of any kind, including applause or boos, similar outbursts during the open forum. Persons who do not follow these rules will be warned. Repeated failure to follow these rules or failure to follow other directions from the chair may result in your speaking privileges being ended early, being directed to leave the meeting, or even the early termination of the open forum. I don't expect any of those things to happen, but we want to make sure that the open forum gives everybody the opportunity to speak. So with that, is there anyone, and again, I'll just remind you, if you're here for either the battery storage open public hearing or the Section 202B public hearing on sewer district purchases, I would encourage you to hold your remarks until that public hearing. But is there anyone that would like to address the board during the open forum here in the room? And is there anyone remotely that would like to address the board during the open forum? I don't see any hands raised.
Bill, if we have no one for the open forum, I move to approve the agenda.
Thank you, Chris.
Second.
Second. Thank you, Nate. Discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Next are the public hearings. As I've mentioned, we do have 2 public hearings on the agenda today. The first is a continuation of a public hearing on the incentive zoning application by GCI Eastwater LLC for a proposed battery energy storage system project on Mortimer Avenue. The public hearing was tabled at our last meeting, but I would like to, and we indicated at the time, our intention to reopen it today. So, Chris, can I have a motion to remove this item from the table so we can continue this public hearing?
Bill, I move that we remove the GCI East Water incentive zoning approval hearing, that it be removed from the table and that it be presented at this time.
Second.
Thank you. Dan, please call the motion, the roll on the motion to remove the item from the table.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Having removed the item from the table, I declare this public hearing on the GCI Eastwater LLC incentive zoning to construct a proposed battery energy storage system off the table. I will note you see a number of items in the agenda. There is an updated item of correspondence from the applicant, and I'll get into a couple of important features from that in just a moment. But you also have a number of other items of correspondence relating to the project, all of which, when we close the public hearing, I will ask that they be entered into the record of the public hearing. But going back to the letter, you'll recall at the last, or you may not recall, but at the last public hearing, we discussed the amenities that had been proposed for the project. We had indicated that, I had indicated that I felt that the amenity package could be strengthened, and as a result, you will see that the current amenity package, there is still $2 million in payments of lieu of taxes. Technically, those are not part of the amenity package. Those will be paid $1 million up front, and the other $1 million over 14 years. The two elements that have changed, one are the fact that originally the applicant had proposed granting the town a conservation easement over that portion of this parcel that was not actually being used for the battery energy storage system facility. I requested, and the applicant has agreed, that instead of providing us simply with a conservation easement over that land, that parcel, about 14 acres, will be transferred in fee to the town of Brighton. So the town of Brighton will own that land. It is immediately adjacent to an existing undeveloped town park. So we're excited anytime that we can enhance our town's park system. Secondly, they had proposed a $250,000 cash amenity, which is what is typically done in a situation where there is no other clear amenity to benefit the area that is the location of the project. Obviously, these additional 14 or so acres will benefit West Brighton, will benefit Brighton in general, but we also indicated that additional cash amenity would be required, and the applicant will now be providing us with an additional $1 million cash amenity, $250,000 to be paid up front, and $750,000 to be paid over 10 years. This is an important benefit to the town, and it will be incorporated if the board takes action today. So with that, I will open up the public hearing. Is there anybody that would like to address the board on the GCI Eastwater LLC incentive zoning public hearing this afternoon? Yes, if you would come up to the podium and please state your name and address.
My name is Margaret P., and my address is 129 Clink Road in Brighton. So I've read the documents that were attached to the December 10th, 2025 Town Board meeting agenda, and I've watched the video of the last meeting to learn more about this project, and I listened to the question and answer period as well. And as a result, I'm here to support this project for the following reasons. Number one is that my husband and I view climate change as a number one threat to our environment and our ecosystems that we live in. As a result of that, we have switched most of our home energy use to electric because it does not rely solely on fossil fuels. We are dependent on a fortified electric grid. This battery storage project would strengthen our electric grid by storing electricity generated during low electricity demand hours for use at a later time when there is higher demand. Battery storage reduces the demand for additional fossil fuel plants to serve regional needs in peak times, such as the increasing number of days where air conditioning is needed due to climate change. The information provided by GCI regarding improvements to battery storage facility designs and the establishment of research-based New York State regulations for such facilities is persuasive that the risks of fire at this facility are low. So I encourage the town board to advance this project today. Thank you.
Thank you, Margie. Would you like the written comments to be included in the record?
Sure.
I know we have one item of correspondence from you and a couple of others, but we will add these to the record. Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board during the public hearing? Yes, come on up.
Thank you. I'm Ellie Rustling, CEO and co-founder of Micro Era Power, leading innovator here in Rochester of thermal energy storage solutions. Our headquarters is at 285 Metro Park. And so I just want to acknowledge this Town of Brighton board for the commitment to sustainability and really excellent things that are happening here in Brighton. My remarks to the board are centered around battery energy storage, as Margie said, is so important for meeting those peak demands. But what we need is not necessarily battery storage, because as you indicated, it's those hottest days of summer right now that are driving those peak demands, destabilizing the grid. There's an opportunity. So I only found out about this topic yesterday with the WXXI article that came out. I just would like to offer that the board is aware there are other energy storage options using thermal energy storage to meet those peak demands in a way that is distributed, requires no lithium, it costs pennies on the dollar, there's no fire hazard, we can source the materials domestically right here in New York State, so it supports U.S. Energy independence and autonomy. That thermal energy storage can meet the peak demands on those hottest days of summer and even coldest days of winter with no battery issues around. So whether the town goes forward with the batteries now or later, I just hope you'll keep that in mind. So if you have big buildings, big constituents, and you want flexibility in those loads, so the heating and the cooling can be provided with off-peak, more resilient energy. That's a conversation happy to have and offer some more resources to the town of Brighton.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sorry. And one little remark, the geothermal project, I'm not sure how far along you are with that, but with Micro Era Power's technology, if there are additional town projects involving geothermal, we offer the opportunity to downsize that geothermal loop by 70 to 80%. So I'm sure you can do the math on the capital cost savings that are available by integrating that thermal energy storage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to address the board on the GCI East Water Incentive Zoning? proposal? Hearing none, is there anybody on our Teams meeting that would like to address the board? I don't see anyone. Oh, I'm sorry, did you want to?
I was scratching my head.
Oh, okay. See, it's like at an auction, you never know what's going to happen. Right. If there is no one else that would like to address the board, I declare this public hearing to be closed. You have a resolution, and if it's your pleasure, Councilmember Corrado, if you would.
If I may, Supervisor, just to explain, there's actually two resolutions.
Yeah, and actually, before we do that, let's keep the public hearing open just for a second longer, if I could, please, or reopen it, because I do first want to make clear again that all of these items that you see here on your agenda are included in the record of the public hearing, as well as the item of communication that Ms. Pete delivered at the meeting. And with that, I will declare the public hearing to be closed. And John, what he was about to say is right. We have two action items. The first is under SEEKR, the State Environmental Quality Review Act, and the second is to consider the substance of the incentive zoning proposal itself. So, Christine, I would ask then that you first move on the SEEKR resolution.
All right, bear with me a moment because I'm going through the very large packet to find, I see a portion of it, but not the entirety of that resolution. Bear with me. Yeah, it looks like we have pages, the second and third page, maybe? Nope.
Page number, yeah, page 87, perhaps?
Yeah, I find the sewer district resolution.
No, that's the sewer district, excuse me.
And the first of the two actions on this
Resolution
project.
7, if that helps.
Page number on that?
I don't know.
36.
I'm gonna go all the way back to the top here. All right, but this is
Resolution,
two
page 7.
actions?
Nope,
Two-
that is
no.
a singular action, so if you want, may I
And the
explain?
second one,
That is the first of the two.
and where is the second? That's the one I cannot.
We'll get to that in a moment.
That
All right,
one,
I
yeah,
just
that
want to be
one was
prepared,
updated.
please.
Yep.
All right. Well then, in the matter of GCI Eastwater LLC's project as proposed, I move that we adopt the incentive zoning proposal.
No.
Nope. That,
SEEKR.
Yep, so,
well, and that is not the one I have in front of me. Where,
that was, I believe that is correct. If you want to scroll down, keep going. Yeah, so the resolved paragraph is effectively,
that one.
Yeah, so it,
All righty, thank you. Well then, in the matter of this proposed project, I move that we adopt the determination on seeker as provided in the resolution drafted by the attorney to the town that is before us.
Second.
I think
Yep.
Councilmember Salzman. And to distill a lot of information down, the finding, which SEEKR, the State Environmental Quality Review Act, requires environmental review of actions such as this one. And the determination, the determination that you are being asked to make today, is to issue what is called a negative declaration that this project will not have a material adverse impact on the environment. John, is there anything else you want to?
No, I will add only that based on all the materials and information submitted by the applicant, based on independent review by the town staff and the attorney to the town, the resolution before you and the attachment, which contains the reasoned elaboration as required under seeker, has made appropriate findings for each of the environmental resources that are identified in the document, and based on the evidence and information presented, the recommendation was made to adopt a negative declaration. And what that means is that this board is finding there is no significant adverse impact associated with the construction of the battery storage facility.
We have a motion, it's been seconded. Any discussion?
Bill, if I might, I've reviewed the seeker negative declaration, and I agree with it. The one aspect of it, though, was the health impact at number 7. It's quite short and indicated it not have any significant adverse impact on public health or safety. But it was the one concern that was raised by a resident of West Brighton, and indicating that the example of the Moss Landing fire in California just earlier this year, I believe, did have a significant health impact is the concern there. However, the developer has presented information that would qualify that fire as significantly different in cause than what the project that's being submitted here. The biggest difference, as the developer has pointed out, was that the Moss Landing site was a retrofit of an existing building where all of the batteries essentially were located in one structure. That the GCI project here that we located in, I believe, is 26 structures. Is that correct? Different.
66. 66 separate modular containers.
Thank you. I've got the number way off, but separate modular containers, making it significantly different with a much different monitoring system and a different technology in the batteries themselves. So this would reduce that risk. There's always a risk in anything. Anything can happen, as they say, but I believe that this project is significantly different than that, and for all the other positive reasons, I support this project.
Thank you, Chris. Any other discussion? Then on the seeker resolution relating to the GCI Eastwater LLC energy storage project, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mailing?
Aye. And next, I'll ask you again, Christine,
I would move on it, except that I am not finding that second one in this packet, and I have the version 3 packet, so give me the page, and I will look at it, and I will then move on it.
John, can you?
I can. Yes.
Because
We're in
we do have
deep into 233 pages here, and I'm not finding it.
hard copy.
I will pull it up right now. Do you see it, Councilmember Warner? Is it in yours?
I've gotten
No.
to page 46 in that.
We added that this morning, so there's a chance maybe that's.
Keep going.
Which version are we looking at?
Going.
Do you have it, Dan? Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Thanks.
So while we're pulling that up, I'll provide an explanation, Supervisor, if that'll help move things along. So now that the board has made a determination of significance, it's permitted to proceed with the substantive action. For this board, it is the approval of incentive zoning under the town comprehensive development regulations. And so the resolution before you is a resolution to approve the incentive zoning for this project. And what that entails is a series of findings that set forth the incentives that are to be granted to the developer in order to construct the project. There's only 2 incentives that have been identified at this time. The first is a change in use incentive to permit battery storage facilities, which are not otherwise expressly allowed in any zoning district in the town of Brighton. The second is to allow for a height, effectively a fence, an alteration for the 6-foot maximum height for fences that are provided under the town code. They need 6.5 feet for their fence to.
8 feet.
I thought it was 6. I thought I saw 6.5 in the submission. Is it 8?
8 feet.
Okay. So the letter of
8-foot
intent says
barbed wire.
6.5. So we should make that alteration. It says 6.5 feet. So we can make that change if the board is understanding that 6.5 is supposed to be 8. The second piece of the resolution is to provide the amenities that are granted to the town of Brighton in exchange for those incentives that we are providing. And there are 3 amenities that have been identified by the supervisor earlier today. The first is the conveyance in fee, which is complete ownership of adjoining acreage to Lynchwood Nature Park. That is being provided for everything that falls outside of the developable area of the project. The second is a pilot agreement providing for payments in lieu of taxes in the total aggregate amount of, I believe, $2 million over 15 years. And the third amenity is a cash in lieu of amenity that is authorized under town law when a specific amenity cannot be identified, and that is going to be a $1 million amenity payable upfront and over time in an amount to be in a schedule to be agreed upon between the 2 parties. That will be further documented in an amenity agreement, which will be a contract between the town and the developer so that those amenities are documented more specifically. And then otherwise, in that resolution are also various conditions of approval which relate to the ongoing review of this project. After the town board has finished its action today, this will proceed to the planning board for them to complete site plan and subdivision review of the project.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now with the resolution in front of me, I move that we adopt the resolution, the GCI Eastwater LLC project resolution for incentive zoning as prepared by the attorney to the town.
Second.
We have a motion and seconded. Any further discussion? Any discussion?
I'll need to add that I feel that the presentation and opportunities for questioning, learning, understanding what this project offers to Brighton has been extensive and thorough, and I think we are making absolutely the right decision to proceed with this project. So we're glad you're here in town for us.
I just want to say thank you to the town board, planning staff, members of the local area. It's been great to work with everybody. And
Thank you.
any questions?
Okay. If there are no further comments, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
I want to second Christine's remarks. The applicant made presentations not only to our Public Works Committee, to the town board on more than one occasion, presentation at the West Brighton Community Forum. And I appreciate their engagement, but I also really deeply appreciate the engagement of the residents of West Brighton who discussed this project with the applicant at the West Brighton Community Forum. It came in here with questions and discussion at our last town board meeting. And this, as we heard tonight, battery energy storage system projects like this are an important part of our continued support of sustainable energy systems here in the town of Brighton. We talk about peak energy demand periods. Traditionally, peak energy demands have been met with so-called peaker stations. Peaker stations are fossil fuel electricity generating facilities that traditionally would operate at very high peak times, particularly, for example, hot summer heat waves. And they are very, very high energy consuming, inefficient facilities, and very expensive because they aren't used all the time. We've seen this technology evolve. We've seen the building code evolve. This project will be built under new building code provisions that go into effect on January 1st. As was noted by Councilmember Warner, the fire incident that was referenced was at a site that was a reconverted building, but it was done under a very, very different set of requirements. So for all of those reasons, I will be voting yes on this project. And the project has been approved. Okay. Moving on to the second public hearing, and that is a public hearing, and you're free to stay, but you're also free to go if you so choose. Drive safely. The second public hearing today is a public hearing under Town Law Section 202B to authorize the expenditure of consolidated sewer district funds for the purchase of an excavator, the design of the Winton Road pump station. Those two projects will total $213,770. And one of the little quirks of New York State law is that a public hearing has to be held by a sewer district for capital expenditures of this kind. So Dan, has the necessary notice been given for this public hearing under Section 202B of the Town Law?
Yes, Supervisor. I just got to find the right notice. Hearing. This was in the December 15th edition of the Daily Record.
Thank you very much. Notice having been given, I declare this public hearing to be open, and I'll ask our Finance Director, Earl, do you have anything you want to add on these two expenditures?
The only thing to add would be that both of these were approved as part of the CIP process and as part of the budget that was passed in late October. So they've already been reviewed and planned for the upcoming year.
Thank you. Bill, anything you want to add?
No, nothing other short of than these are really critical piece of machinery for maintaining the infrastructure of the sanitary system in town.
And the Winton Road pump station is a project that has been...
yes, that was constructed in 1986, and due to the environment, as you can imagine, the inside, it's pretty humid. So it's some deterioration going on, so...
Yeah, it's a project we've looked at over a couple of years.
Correct.
Under our capital improvement plan project. It's tough sometimes. You have to make tough priority decisions, but this year, this is a project we really want to move forward.
Right, absolutely.
Is there anyone here that would like to address the board during this public hearing? Hearing none, and unless we have anything from staff, anything further, I declare this public hearing to be closed. Nate, would you like to?
Sure. Well, I move that we authorize the expenditure of the Consolidated Sewer District funds for the purchase of an excavator in an amount not to exceed $82,000 and the design of the Winton Road Pump Station project in an amount not to exceed $131,770 for a total of $213,770.
Second. And you move.
And I move as prepared by the attorney to the town.
Thank you. Second. Thank you, Chris. Discussion. Again, you heard about these two projects, that they'll be part of our sewer district expenditures for 2027. Hearing nothing further, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. And the public hearings are closed. Thank you very much. Communications, can I have a motion to receive and file the communications?
I move that we receive and file the communications from David Catholi, Chief of Police, and Jeffrey Smith, President and Chief Compliance Officer of Municipal Solutions.
Second.
Thank you. Yes, Chief Cathaldi's letter, unfortunately, bears what are happy tidings for Jackie, but I know it for you and for the police department. Jackie Pike has been a wonderful employee. I just had the opportunity to, when I was over there the other day for a luncheon you had with the police officers, to thank her for her service. Jackie will be retiring, and we are sorry to see her go. The communication from Municipal Solutions, which is our financial advisor for debt issuance, is simply a notice that is required under Rule G10 of the Municipal Securities Rulemaking Board as part of the process we go through in any borrowings. So with that, the action is to receive and file those two items. Sorry, yes. You can. You're done. Thanks, Dan. We have a motion. It's been seconded. Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Committee reports. Community Services, Councilmember Wilt is not here. Do we have a?
We do have minutes from the meeting of December 17th, at which I was not in attendance, but I know that the minutes have been reviewed by those who were in attendance, and so I'll give the short and sweet here. In the Parks Department, they are focused on plowing and salting, and preparing for the renovation in Brookside. And they will be assisting the Recreation Department when it's their time to move items within that building. So that's teamwork between the departments, and that is greatly appreciated. Also, the Veterans Luncheon was held on December 5th, and about 120 people attended in the new location, the Buckland Barn. The location worked extremely well, and it's great to have that additional space to spread out food preparation and accommodate the many, many people who are being recognized and celebrated that day. There was a discussion of the New York State TAPS grant program, and the town is exploring pursuing this grant to implement the Multiversity Trail project. And I trust that that's clicking along towards application.
We actually just had an internal meeting on that yesterday.
Excellent.
The next step, and I'll go back on the Brookside project also when you get done. But on that one, yes, the first step in that process, our planner, Anthony Vallone, was a part of a webinar that the agency held. By January 15th, we will be submitting basically a questionnaire describing the project and the basis for the reason, A, we have the ability to do the project, for example, that we control the land in question, and then the actual, they will reply to that as to whether we are qualified to proceed with the actual grant application. We certainly believe we are, and expect that we will get that approval. And then the actual application deadline itself is around March 15th. I may be off by a day or two, but
I think that's what I saw.
that's the timeline.
Excellent. That's very exciting.
It
Glad
is
we can
exciting.
move forward on that. Under recreation programs, fall wrap-up, winter-spring programming is, the planning for it is underway, and there was additional Brookside renovation discussion. And with, and discussed the sad news about not earning the BRICS grant, but strategizing
Moving forward.
a path forward on the community center. Did you want to add anything about the renovation right now?
Yeah, sure. So as we have discussed, the renovations at the Brookside School, the former Brookside School, which is now owned by the Talmudical Institute of Upstate New York, which they are planning on renovating and expanding and converting into their new home for their yeshiva, rabbinical school. As part of that project, our Parks and Recreation departments will be moving to what I'll call the north wing of the building, from what is now sort of the center wing. They'll be in the north wing as well as the main front wing that holds the gym. The town of Brighton issued a permit for that work only for interior renovation work to those areas that the town will be occupying. We expect, if we haven't already gotten it, but this week we will be getting a schedule of work from the Talmudical Institute. And although they have already begun, as you correctly described, moving items, that has been occurring, and in particular, items have been moved to the stage in the gymnasium area where a wall has been built to keep them secure, a temporary security wall to keep them secured. And we expect that they may begin their interior renovation work next week. There is signage. We couldn't have made it any clearer over and over again that all construction access to the building must come from the Winton Road entrance, not the Idlewood entrance. There'll be signage noting that. There will be a staging area adjacent to that north wing of the building where, construction vehicles will park. But other than that, that work will begin very shortly and will be interior work. I think it'll take a couple months, is my understanding.
Well, much anticipated and much needed. That's great.
But that way, and just to be clear, because I've been asked this is not taking the place of our plans to build a new community center. This is simply moving within what are still temporary facilities at the former Brookside School.
And we're grateful to have that location until we...
It's been a good partnership.
Yep, until we move into our own. Farmers Market update, the winter indoor season has begun. It was on hiatus this past weekend and the weekend prior, am I correct? And will resume on Sunday, January 4th, 2026 at 10 a.m.? 10 a.m.
Yes. 10 to 1.
10 to 1. So mark your calendars, go get your winter provisions. There was a discussion of the outdoor market location for summer 2026, and it is sealed and ready to go
Across the street.
All right.
At the Golisano Institute. And we appreciate, again, the partnership with them.
Great big parking lot for that, and you can also bike to it, and you can also bus to it, although the bus stop is a little ways away from where you might want to be dropped off. We'll work on that. The Idea Board update, plans are underway for marking Martin Luther King Jr. Day on January 16th. We will be honoring Barbara DeLue with the Keeper of the Dream Award. And Carlton Wilcox will perform some musical pieces, and local school participation is also expected. And I believe that event begins at noon here in Temporary Town Hall. Sustainability Oversight Committee update, they did not meet in December. Conservation Board met in December and bid farewell to a long-serving member, well, relatively long-serving member, Becky Negley. We appreciated her service and her perspective on conservation, and we will be seeking a successor to fill her seat. So folks who are interested in keeping Brighton green and focusing on our trees in particular, since it serves as our tree council, take a look at the website for details on applying. And upcoming, one other key upcoming date very soon, Thursday, January 1st, day after tomorrow, is the first day hike. Get out and hike the Brickyard Trail with the supervisor and others from Town Hall. It starts at 10 a.m., snow or shine, right?
Right.
All right. So
At the Elmwood Avenue trailhead.
Yes. And folks, if you have to drive to it, folks can park at at TBK, correct?
Correct, at the Temple Brith Kodesh lot or in the side town hall library lot.
And of course, it's also served by bus inconsistently, and you can bike over there if you're hardy and a winter biker. I am not. If I'm going, I'll be driving. All right, and the next meeting is Wednesday, January 21st at 10 a.m. Or immediately following Finance and Administrative Services if that runs long, and that is at the Brighton Recreation Center. Enter through the Winton Road side.
Thank you. And speaking of Finance and Administrative Services,
We never run long.
You never did.
Right, Earl? Our Finance and Administrative Services Committee last met on 12/17. Among the items on our agenda, we discussed change orders for the town board project, which I know we'll get into a little bit more later. We also had a discussion around the Brighton Volunteer Ambulance, the next vehicle purchase. And if I could delay while I'm pulling up my phone, I had this item open. Well, I switched it to look at the best project. So I'll just go from memory, which is we talked about doing buying a mod versus buying a
Sprinter.
Thank you. Yes. Excellent. Thank you. Our next meeting will be on January 7th, right here at 8:30 a.m.
thank you. And that ambulance purchase is not on the agenda for
Not on
tonight,
the agenda.
But it was great to get that update as to their future plans for that. And since you're talking about ambulance districts, I do want to note, and I was disappointed, the governor vetoed a provision that would remove ambulance districts from the tax cap. I understand the desire to maintain fiscal discipline. That's an important thing. But we are in New York and, probably across the country. Ambulance service, EMS service, is really in a state of crisis in many places. We're very fortunate. Brighton Volunteer Ambulance has been a great partner for close to 40 years now, and it has been funded through the ambulance service district. They are fully staffed with career EMS personnel and have volunteers, and they are so well regarded in this community. But even so, it is a financial impact. We do, as you noted, one of the things we do, we budget every 18 months to replace one of their 5 vehicles. They have significant personnel expenses, and that great service does come at a cost. I would have liked to have seen, because it is such a critical service, I would have liked to have seen ambulance service exempted from the tax cap. But it was not, so we will continue to have to factor them in as we compute our status under the tax cap every budget cycle. But thank you, Nate, for your report Public Safety, Chris.
Bill, I reported on the December 9th Public Safety meeting at our December 10th Town Board meeting. There's been no intervening meeting, and our next meeting will be January 13 at 8 o'clock a.m. here in the Town Hall.
Thank you. Christine?
Public Works, ditto for Public Safety, with the exception of the start time of the next meeting being at 9 a.m. on the 13th.
Thank you. Moving on to new business. Nate, reading and approval of claims.
You got earlier today, I reviewed claims totaling $922,504.52. Notable claims include a payment for American Rock Salt. It looks like we need that today, huh?
We do.
And it also caught my eye because we went out to the big shed, our budget review task force, and so it reminded me of the tour that you gave that was so helpful. Also a payment for replacement for the HVAC RTU for the library. I know that my family is very happy to see that repair made, and I'm sure lots of other families will be happy just because there's so much fun at the library, and when that room gets packed, it's fun but also hot, and so that was a great thing to get done. Claims appear to all be in order, and I move for them to be approved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mailer?
Aye. Christine?
Yes, the next matter seeks to authorize the supervisor to enter into an agreement with UR Medicine for the Employee Assistance Program in an amount not to exceed $9,300 for a 2-year term beginning January 1st, 2026, ending December 31st, 2027. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
We have worked with the U of R Medicine for our EAP for a number of years, and it's been a very valuable resource for our personnel. There's nothing further. Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mailer?
Aye. Nate?
The next matter seeks to authorize the transfer of $200,000 from the general fund to the capital project fund for the town hall renovation capital project, and authorize the finance director to make any applicable, this is my lack of sleep coming out, budget amendments based upon an estimated 2025 general fund surplus. I move that we approve this motion as prepared by the attorney to the town.
Second.
As you see from the letter, this is one of our year-end transactions, if you will, transfers, because we did operate at a surplus in the general fund. We're making this transfer. We don't know whether we will need to expend any of these monies, but we have the opportunity to do it before year-end. So we'll take advantage of that. Any amounts not used will be transferred back to the general fund. Any further comments? Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mailer?
Aye. Why don't you do the next one too, Nate?
Yeah, you got it. The next matter seeks to authorize the supervisor to approve change orders with Milestone Construction Partners for the Town Hall renovation project in an amount not to exceed $73,956.60. I move that we approve this motion as prepared by the attorney to the town.
Second.
There are 7 change orders that are reflected in the communication, including work relating to restoring the concrete flooring in the ground floor to enable improvement of those surfaces for future use. Similar matter is the second item. This relates to similar finishes in the library. As you'll recall, we had to cordon off a small part of the library staff area during the asbestos abatement. This is the final billing for temporary storage requirements that were imposed during that time that was not available. The next one relates to some doors and related items of security, duct support to reinforce rooftop duct work to make sure it can meet wind loads on days like yesterday was the fifth one. The sixth one is some minor framing and drywall work enclosing a pipe in the rooftop area to maintain the ceiling height. And finally, an even smaller modification in one of our conference rooms, again, to finish and frame drywall to maintain the height of the roof. So we have a motion. It's been seconded to approve all of those change orders relating to the town hall renovation project. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Chris?
Bill, the next item is to set a public hearing for the removal of some 6 maple trees at various addresses: 64 Fair Oaks, 260 Edgemore, 80 Dunroven, 100 Edgeview, 40 Bonnie Bray, and 165 Alamo. I move that we adopt the resolution before us, setting a date for public hearing.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
And you mentioned the Conservation Board and the work they do as the Tree Council. I was at, of course, that last Conservation Board meeting, and I really appreciated the detail, the engagement between the board and Kyle, our arborist, in a very robust discussion about our tree canopy, but we rely on Kyle for his assessment of these trees as we consider through the public hearing process whether these town trees should be removed because of their condition. And there's a lot of material here. Kyle goes to great lengths to photograph, complete these reports, and show, in his judgment, why we need to consider taking these trees out. So,
And if I may add, it's his professional judgment.
it's his professional
certified.
judgment, absolutely. He is a certified arborist.
Do we have a target date on that public hearing?
January
28th.
28th.
January 28th.
Any further comment? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Christine,
All right. This will be my last official act for 2025 because I have to leave in 2 minutes. The next matter seeks to approve an incentive zoning application from Flower City Foods for property located at 885 South Winton Road. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
this is the first step of the project I mentioned earlier. This is a proposal to renovate property located at 885 South Winton Road. It is just north of the 12 Corners. It's a former medical laboratory building, one-story building. And the proposal is that it be renovated and become the site of both Lippman's Deli and Malik's Bakery, two kosher food purveyors with a long, long history in the town of Brighton that are now both owned by Flower City Foods, LLC, which is owned by Neff and Anna Hanau, who are currently operating those two food service, kosher food service providers. This first step, as we have talked about in the past, is simply a finding that the project is worthy of further review. And that is a finding that we are making based on the application that you have here with you. We've talked about it in committee. They would be making a financial commitment, but they would also be providing a garden, a pocket park, and really enhancing the look and feel of that neighborhood. They would also be agreeing to enter into what is called a standby pilot or payment in lieu of tax agreement, under which, if at any point they were to otherwise become tax exempt, that they would agree to pay the equivalent amount of taxes. So, before you leave, is there any further discussion on this item which would find the project worthy of further review and refer it to the planning board for sketch plan review? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
It's good. This will allow me to get a few more steps in to this potential location to work off the brownies that I get from Alex. So.
We'll have to go another half block.
Well, that round trip back to town hall once we
Thinking
move
that.
back, right? So it's a whole block.
Yeah.
It's good.
And I believe that's the last item of new business.
Site work. I have one more on my agenda.
Got one more in.
Site work capital project. I have on my.
Oh, that's the site work. I'm sorry. Yes, that is the separate, that's the site work. I was thinking, wait a second, we did this one already. Nate?
Yeah, you got it. The next matter seeks to approve the town hall site work capital budget, project budget, and authorize a transfer of $200,000 from the general fund to said capital project budget. I move that we approve this motion as prepared by the attorney to the town.
Second.
This will set up the capital project funded with bond proceeds to do the various items of site work that are described in the communication and in the resolution itself. Exterior work on the town hall campus, including drainage work, renovation of the parking field and driveways, whole variety of lighting and other site amenities that will all be undertaken as part of the overall town hall project. Further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Matters of the supervisor, it's snowing. But despite that work, not only is our highway department doing their snow and ice removal work, but leaf pickup continues, weather permitting.
As long as we can find them.
As long as we can find them. And, this is the time of year when you really realize one more reason why we tell you, please don't pile the leaves in the street. Because if you do, they are likely to get plowed up, thrown back into your lawn, and there they will probably rest until spring. So I know everybody's finished raking them out, but our crews are out in East Brighton. I don't know whether they're working on leaves today or if today is, I didn't think so.
No, with all the wind damage and stuff, we're still cleaning up from that and trying to keep up with the snow, so.
But
Back out there, hopefully Friday.
weather permitting, they'll be out on Friday. And, again, it's great work that they do, jumping back and forth between plowing and salting and leaf pickup, and as long as they can, they will continue to do that. So thank you. Please give our thanks to the crew.
If I might ask, the containerized leaf pickups and laundry continuing or no?
Not the containerized, no.
I mean, they'll pick up, but they're not doing the separate.
The packer is not out.
Packer
No,
truck,
No,
yeah.
the crews they're dumping them in the leaf piles as they come across, the barrels, so.
So I've got 2 barrels. Should I just dump them?
If there's a leaf pile close to you, say a neighbor's, or yes.
Rutherford wouldn't I?
Or waste management.
No.
What do they know?
But yeah, speaking of waste management, the new communications have come out with new schedules. We're continuing to work with them to try to tweak some of these schedules, but in particular, the Evans Farm community neighborhood is going to be joining the district as of the first of the year, and they've got their schedules, and we're over 6,000 households now in the district. So, also, just a reminder, overnight parking is prohibited now through April 15th. It really becomes a problem for our snow and ice crews. Obviously, it leaves areas of your street unplowed or unsalted, but you know, our crews are out at night. Those cars are there. It can, if cars are parked on both sides of the street, it can become a challenge for them getting through. So please remember, tickets may be written. Please don't park on the street overnight. Thank you. Matters of the attorney to the town.
Thank you, Supervisor. Nothing to report. Would request a final executive session for 2025 for 2 matters leading to the appointment and discussion of employment of particular persons.
Thank you very much. We'll do that. Matters of the town clerk. Dan?
2026 town and county collection starts tomorrow. Bills will be mailed by the printer tomorrow. Happy New Year. I shouldn't say that. That feeds into a negative frame. Obviously, the taxes we collect enable all of the great work our staff does, and all the services that we provide to the residents. So I apologize. I try not to make that joke in here. It's hard. It's about deprogramming myself to get out of that. But seriously, tomorrow is our one day during 2025 where we're able to collect. So if anybody wants to get a payment on their books for calendar 25, tomorrow's the day, in person, or it can be postmarked tomorrow. And then it'll be actually posted to your account dated the 1st, and that's our internal way we know that it was actually a 2025 payment, since we are never open on the 1st. As always, recommend that folks, if they don't see a bill in their mailbox by January 10th, call the office, because that means something's up with the mail. And I'll still leave plenty of time for us to get you a new copy, either by mail or email, or you can stop in and get one. And they should be available on the website, hopefully, probably months, starting on the 1st. Otherwise, I think that's it.
So people who want to pay tomorrow, either in person or by mail, will they be able to find the amount on the webpage, or? Okay.
Should.
Good.
I just checked. It's not there yet, so, but hopefully it should be tomorrow.
Obviously, they won't get it in the mail until.
Yeah, so we actually maintain a list of folks that have asked for these early, so we actually suppress the printing on those. So those actually just come right to the office, and we can hand them out. Or again, we'll just print them off the web as soon as they're available. That list, the number of people has gotten a lot smaller since New York and several other states were victimized by the feds taking away, the particular administration taking away the SALT deduction. But there's still some folks that are in the habit of doing it, so they continue.
Yep. True that. Thank you, Dan. Matters of the board.
Nothing further.
Well then, this is the last meeting of 2025. Thank you all very much for being here today. Thank you to our ASL interpreters again. Our next
the executive session.
Yes, I will get to that in
good.
a moment.
Just want to make sure.
Our next board meeting will be our annual 2026 organizational meeting. That meeting is one that's held every year. There are various items that are done routinely year after year, or sometimes every other year. You know, naming secretaries, staff secretaries to our various boards, designating our official newspaper of record, things like that. We will be holding that meeting at 11:30 on Friday, January 2nd, 2026. But at 11:30, that meeting will begin with the swearing in of myself and Dan and our council members, Councilmember Corrado, and also our new council member, Clara Sanguinetti. So that swearing in will start at 11:30. It'll be followed by a brief reception, and then the formal reorganization meeting itself will continue. So 11:30, Friday, January 2nd, here in this room. And now, can I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss the employment of a particular person and compensation or appointment of a particular person?
Bill, I move that we go into an executive session to discuss employment of a particular person and the appointment and compensation of a particular person.
Sorry.
Thank you both.
Second.
Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. I do not anticipate that we'll be coming back out into open session after the executive session. So again, thank you, everybody. Thank you to our interpreters. Happy New Year. See you in 2026.